Paul, my name is tomasbanreilly, Tommy Riley to some people, and I wrote a book called Amongst Our Own, Igatla or Armina, and it's about the ancestry and genealogy of the Inniskeas Islands. Well, mostly that's what the book does, but there are other chapters in it. There's a chapter on the landmarks south of Auckland on the tip of the Mullet Peninsula. But first, the Inniskeas Islands is two islands, north and south, located off the Mullet Peninsula, the southern half of the Mullet Peninsula, in northwest Mayo. And the last settlement of people on the islands, they had been uninhabited for hundreds of years, but there have been settled as early as early Christian times, because there are a lot of archaeological remains and things found there by different studies down through the years. But mostly what my book concentrates on is the people and, as I said, the genealogy and ancestry of these families, and mostly the last families, the families that left in 1934. Now, the last settlement on the islands went from 1765 until 1934, and while there were families came and went, the families that mostly persevered and was there until they eventually left were the Barretts, Kanes, Cawleys, Cranes, Lavelles, McGinty's, Meenahans, Monaghan's, O'Donnell, Padden, Riley, Walsh, and a family of Gaughan that was there till the 1900s. I included them. Now, down through the years, as I said, other families came and went, and you had names like Dunbar, the Gamels, the Gaughans, the Gallaghers, Grady, Gavin, Hogan, Henahan or Heenahan, Heffron or Hebron, Kelly, O'Connor, MacDonald and Stevens. These names disappeared by the time the islanders had left. Indeed, they had disappeared by the time of the 1900, 1901 and 1911 census were taken. As I said, the book mostly concentrates on the genealogy of these people, who they were, when they first settled. The first settlement, as I said, was back in 1765 when Dan McGinty from Ballycroy came to the North Island, and after a spell there he moved south. The next family to settle was the Sean Marcus Kanes, who came from Achill Island, and they had been settled in Achill from when they moved up through Burrashool. Then various families from all along North Mayo, the Mullet Peninsula, down as far as Inniskeas. The Johnaville Lavelles came from Inniskeas Island. The O'Donnells came from Roundstone or Ballyconneely, round that area. And then you had the Philly Lavelles that came from Ballycastle on the North Mayo coast near Killala. And you had the different Meenahans came from Moyne, near Tala there in Belmullet. You had the Rileys, our own gang, that came from Tirran. You had the Terryn Rileys that came from Tarman and Blacksod. You had Barretts that came from Barrack and Lame near Ellie Bay. And you had a variety of different families that came from around Auckland, Terman and Falmore. And as I said, families came and went, but the ones that stayed, this is mostly what this book concentrates on, and it gives their marriages and their families and who they married, and it's fairly comprehensive. There's about 510 pages. There's other sections in the book that concentrates on the old songs of Inniskeas and translations of my own, and two songs that I composed myself. And there's also a chapter, the last chapter, on Right Brian Carabine's prophecies that was known as Tarigracht Vrian Rua. He was a prophet that was born in Inver and lived down on the north coast of Mayo, and some very, very interesting prophecies indeed, and very accurate. And it has been handed down by in various places with slight differences, but mostly this is what the ones I heard and also, there's a section on the landmarks that were on the mainland when they came out. That is south of Auckland, around Tarm and Blacksod. The villages of Gloucester view that they occupied, most of them, there was no one there from famine times, only not sporadic settlement here and there, but they didn't last long. So these villages were resettled by the Inniskeas. They had to build a new church in Auckland, and they had to extend the school with 2 more rooms to accommodate the 50 families that came from the islands. One family also went to Anna, west of Binghamstown and Balmullet, the Lavelles, the Admirals they were called, and 2 families, Riley and Lavelle, went to Glenlara. And there were some families that had left before the 1930s exodus, and there's a mention of that. As I said, anyone that has connections or with the Inniskeas will find, I'm sure, some very interesting things in it. And I hope you enjoy it. So, Garamila Maigi, thank you very much.